Yes. You always know how we started right here on Entertainment Thursday. Good morning, Kenya. And we start you off with a nice, worship song so that you just get into the mood and we get to thank God for enabling us to see a new day. How are you doing from wherever it is that you are watching us from? Thank you for choosing Good Morning, Kenya. My name is Vivian Degwa, and today we have a packed up show. Like, the show is going to be really amazing. So tell a neighbor to tell a friend to wake up because we are on. We will be having Boss Emoji, if you guys know Boss Emoji from the famous group Emoji. And then we'll also be having Kuparas, who will be talking to us about the Nutcracker. What is that all about? We'll get to find out. We will also be having the CEO and founder of Madaraka Festival, which is a festival that happens in the US of A+, a hip-hop artist and rapper who is also going to be joining us. So you don't want to miss any bit of the show. And as if that is not enough, Unique the DJ is also in the house and will be serving us. Hi, Unique.
Very fine. Venye tu Vivian anamwambia, we have a very great show packed up just for you. So make sure you just stay tuned.
Absolutely. And Marie is also here with us and will be letting us know what is happening in the world of news. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning to you, Vivian, and good morning to you, DJ Unique. Thank you so much, DJ, for that song. It never really grows old for me. So it's a song that every time I hear it, it keeps reminding me where my strength comes from. So thank you once again, also back at home, for joining us this morning. And just as Vivian has already alluded to, a lot lined up for you in the news, including business and sports. But I want to begin where Azimio la Umoja, a leader, that is Raila Odinga, has faulted the new charges by the government on the national identification cards. The opposition chief said the IDs should be catered for by the taxpayers and should be issued for free of charge. Let's get the details of that story.
Speaking during a meeting with over 200 clergy from the larger Westlands constituency, opposition leader Raila Odinga said the government should stop burdening Kenyans with levies and charges.
Mambo ya ID tutapigana nao hapo. Kitambulisho inatakikana kila Mkenya apate bila kulipa chochote.
Raila said it is absurd for citizens to be asked to pay for documents showing they are Kenyans.
Sasa mtu anataka uende ununue kitambulisho kwa Mkenya, na baba yako ni Mkenya, mama yako ni Mkenya, hawa watu wameshindwa. Mambo ya kitambulisho tutasema ni lazima kila Mkenya apewe kitambulisho.
Leaders who accompanied him called on the government to address the current high cost of living.
Sisi tunaambia Raila Amolo Odinga, kama hiyo report haina mambo ya cost of living, kurudisha gharama ya maisha chini, usiweke sahihi.
That report must address the cost of living. We want the cost of living to come down, and the government has got the capacity na wako na uwezo kuleta chini gharama ya maisha.
The leaders urged the youth to go register and get their IDs as the ODM members' recruitment drive continues.
Nataka watu vijana wetu ambao wamehitimu umri ya miaka 18 wawe na vitambulisho na waende wachukue nini? Waende wachukue kura. Tunataka kuzidisha idadi ya watu wetu ambao watachukua kura.
The government had announced to increase the fee for the first-time identification cards applicants to 1,000 shillings. But reviewed the cost downward to 300 shillings. ID replacement also reviewed from 2,000 to 1,000 shillings.
Now, 11 million trees have been captured on the Jaza Miti app so far, a day after Kenyans backed the inaugural National Tree Planting Day. Government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, in making the announcement, that is also revealed that 150 million of the targeted 15 billion trees have been planted. Give us a minor with the details of the briefing by the government spokesperson.
Monday, the 10th of November 2023, marked the inaugural tree growing day Kenyans spend the day in farms, along road reserves, open fields and forests as the government rallied both public and private sector players to plant trees as part of its ambitious plan to grow 15 billion trees in 10 years and 100 million trees in a single day. And on Wednesday, barely a day after the national holiday, government spokesperson Isaac Mora, issuing a status report on the tree growing initiative, said the government project had kicked off to a good start.
The manual tallying, or as of 14th of November, that is yesterday, 2023, shows that the country planted over 150 million trees.
According to Mora, the tree-growing program was on course, adding that the Jaza Miti app had recorded some activity.
So far, a total of 10,794,604 trees have been documented in the Jaza Miti app.
With the current data by the government, 150 million trees represent 1% of the 15 billion. Additionally, Mora defended the government over fuel prices, saying without its intervention, petrol would retail at 229 shillings, diesel at 223 Kenyan shillings, and 206 Kenyan shillings for kerosene.
It's not going to be easy, because as much as we are doing this, we are also having a challenge of the dollar skyrocketing. Is almost approaching 160 mark, and that has a great impact on the cost of living.
He also revisited the foreign trips by the presidency, saying the benefits outweigh the cost.
Reporting there. Now, the National Dialogue Committee on Wednesday next week will meet Treasury Cabinet Secretary Professor Njuguna Ndung'u to iron out pending issues regarding the current high cost of living. The team, led by Kikuyu Member of Parliament, Dr. Kimani Ichung'wah, and Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, are seeking the best formula to address the high cost of living. Now, the committee hopes that the CS will shed light on issues under contention, hence paving way for recommendations on short-term, medium and long-term interventions to address the cost of living. The committee is thereafter expected to retreat to prepare a report ahead of the expiry of its timeline on the 26th of November.
Further consultations, and that's why we asked for time out to make further consultations, principally with the National Treasury, and we shall be recalling the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the National Treasury to join us when we reconvene next week on Wednesday, by which time we expect also to have a draft report to consider as we settle on the small issues that we are here to agree on. Is that we want to make recommendations, especially on the matter of the cost of living, some that are immediate, others that are medium term, and some that are far-reaching long-term interventions, both the administrative, policy and legislative. And therefore, that's why we are not able to resolve these issues immediately.
They should help us crack that issue, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who collect the revenue, they are the ones who dispense, of course, service government programs, and so at this time, we all know the country is crying out for help. So the cost of living matter, we decided to confront it head on. Okay, that's why we have asked for further consultations.
Matters child protection, where stakeholders are calling for combined efforts in protecting children against abuse and neglect. The stakeholders say they are focused on addressing child survival, development, protection and participation. This comes as Kenya prepares to host the second International Conference on Child Protection in Africa from the 22nd to the 24th of November.
Kenya is set to host the second International Conference on Child Protection in Africa from 22nd to 24th November at Daystar University. Speaking during media sensitization on ending violence against children, Deputy Director, National Council for Children's Services, Mwambi Mungare, said the conference will enable children to participate, have a voice, and get encouraged through educational and technical programs.
Child survival, child development, child protection, and child participation. On child participation, why it is very important, you cannot talk about us without us. So we have to involve children.
He further noted that there was a drop of 24% in children facing violence in Kenya, according to Violence Against Children survey.
The Violence Against Children survey of 2019, which clearly indicated that the violence had gone down. You know, even if you reduce by 1%, it is a plus for our government and for everybody. Violence against children had gone down from 80% to 56%.
Is to look at what are the gaps in terms of legislations for the protection of children in this country, for the promotion of their welfare. Ours go beyond protection per se, but also look at the welfare.
The conference will bring together key actors and stakeholders in the field of child protection in Africa and beyond. For Prime Edition, I'm Purity Musyoka.
Thank you so much, Purity. Now, Tugania East Member of Parliament, that is Mpuri Aburi, has presented himself before the Directorate of Criminal Investigation Officers to record a statement over the alleged clips of videos played at the Senate showing him spewing derogatory statements against Governor Kawira Mwangaza, that is the governor for Meru, during her impeachment motion about a week ago. Now, Aburi said he was not summoned by the DCI, but appeared at his own volition to table what he considers the truth on the matter. He further said Governor Mwangaza should be summoned by the DCI for the same, adding that they will file a case against her for misleading the Senate.
Kitendo ilifanyika pale Senate wiki iliyopita tarehe 7 na tarehe 8. Ilikuwa ni Tuesday na Wednesday. Ya kwamba ile kitendo ilifanyika pale, Wakenya hawakupata ukweli. Amen. Wakenya hawakupata ukweli na hawakuambiwa ukweli. Na wale watu walikosewa kabisa completely ni wa Meru.
Let's move on to matters education, where the government has collaborated with Germany, Finland, and different employers in a bid to improve the linkages between technical vocational education training in the country and the industry. The collaboration comes as the State Department of TVET has organized a 3-day conference for stakeholders from the public and private sectors to enlighten on new skills and knowledge that will be key in imparting how learners transit to different job markets. Now, confirming the partnership, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu said that the move will equip learners with skills that will enable them meet the demands of the current job market. This comes as the government is implementing a competency-based curriculum in schools that is skill-oriented.
With the various stakeholders, has been actively engaged in transformative reforms aimed at revitalizing the TVET sector. These reforms are necessary to reshape the TVET landscape in order to address the labor market demands.
We call on our esteemed development partners to continue supporting our initiatives. Your expertise and resources can further boost the impact of our TVET programs and reinforce our commitment to the betterment of the Kenyan youth and the nation's workforce.
To the corridors of justice, where Anti-Corruption Court Judge Professor Dr. Nixon Sifuna has okayed the withdrawal of a suit against 3 directors of companies accused of laundering 6 billion shillings. In his ruling, he faulted the prosecution and the Assets Recovery Agency for withdrawing the cases midway, saying it betrays and erodes the public trust. And as Ruth Wamboy now reports, the judge has ordered the Asset and Recovery Agency to pay the costs of the suit to the respondents.
In his 6-page ruling, Justice Sifuna said the Assets Recovery Agency approached the court in 2022 seeking to freeze the bank accounts of directors of Flutterwave Payment Technology, Hupesi Solutions and Adguru Technology Limited, saying the money held in the bank accounts were proceeds of money laundering. Justice Sifuna wondered why the turnaround, saying the Assets Recovery Agency should have pursued his case instead of applying to withdraw the suit midway. The judge said the court holds Brigadier Alice Mate and investigating officer Corporal Isaac Nakitare responsible for the turnaround, calling for a lifestyle audit of judicial officers and investigators. Elsewhere, Kenyan based in the United Kingdom has filed a petition at the High Court challenging the constitutionality of the recent appointments of ambassadors, high commissioners and consular by President William Ruto. The petitioner Eliud Matindi also took issue with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission for allegedly failing to set out the remuneration criteria for the appointments. Justice Chacha Mwita said the matter for mention on 13 December 2023.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboi, for that report. Let's look at business, where the government is seeking an additional 187 billion shillings, according to the supplementary budget report tabled in Parliament on Wednesday. Now, the funds will go towards debt obligations, the education sector, and emergency measures due to the ongoing heavy rains. If passed by Parliament, the new supplementary budget will push the 2023-24 fiscal budget to 3.9 trillion from the current 3.7 trillion shillings.
Last week, the National Treasury submitted to Parliament its first supplementary budget for the current fiscal year 2023-2024, which seeks to allocate more funds to debt servicing and investments in sectors like health, education and agriculture.
Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers.
The revised budget was tabled in Parliament with a proposal to increase overall expenditure by 5% to 3.98 trillion shillings, while recurrent expenditure will jump by 5.35% to 1.65 trillion shillings.
Approves an increment of the total recurrent expenditure for financial year 2023-2024 by Kenya shillings 90 billion 717 million 383,737 shillings in respect of the votes as contained in the schedule.
The chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, Ndindi Nyoro, tabled the committee's report approving an additional 187 billion shillings to the current financial year budget.
Approves an overall increase in the total budget for financial year 2023-2024 by Kenya shillings 66 billion 201 million 573,015 shillings.
Nyoro told the House that servicing the public debt has seen the consolidated fund service expenditure increase by 145.5 billion shillings due to increased foreign interest payments, eroding the fiscal space for discretionary expenditure. Under the education sector, TVET will get an additional 4.8 billion shillings, 3.5 billion for University Funding Board, 10.2 for HELB, 5.5 billion to address shortfalls in junior secondary schools capitation, and 19.7 billion for Teachers Service Commission. The agriculture sector will see additional 2.1 billion shillings channeled to dryers and storage equipment to minimize post-harvest losses, 8.2 billion on fertilizer, 4 billion shillings support for coffee farmers, and 1.7 billion to aid ailing state sugar millers. The National Disaster Management Authority will get an additional 4.4 billion shillings to deal with emergency situations. State Department for Roads, however, has seen a reduction in its budget at 20.7 billion shillings.
Kamche Menza reporting there. Now, the government has formed an 11-member technical committee to audit the state of Kenya's premier airport, that is the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The committee is expected to assess the state of infrastructure and electromechanical facilities at the JKIA. The committee will also review the works undertaken in the last 2 years by contractors and identify immediate remedial measures. Transport Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, has also given the committee 1 month to submit its report.
I have formed a committee to investigate the status of our airports, and in particular Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Wilson International Airport, and Moi International Airport, Mombasa. The terms of reference of the committee will be: 1, to assess the state of infrastructure facilities; 2, to assess the state of electromechanical facilities; 3, to review the works undertaken in the last 2 years by contractors
and 4, to identify immediate remedial measures to be undertaken. The report of this technical committee, will inform further works that we are going to commission. We no longer want to do patching here, patching there. We want to do something comprehensive. And my office, once receives this report, will now sit down and guide the agency through the office of the PS and the board of the agency to carry out a comprehensive renovations in this particular facility.
On that note, let's take a break. I'll be back with sports in just a short moment.
You want a baby, then that's perfectly okay. You go ahead. I'm just concerned about your reasons, that's all. Do you want a baby because it's what's expected of you, or because you want one?
What to do? I'll do anything to make you happy. I will. Tell me.
I think we should break up. Home, tell your parents that you're going to bring me with you.
My parents don't know that I have a boyfriend, okay?
Oh, you've bought us so many presents, Nanjia.
Yeah, Nanjia. It's marked really clearly. You open it and put all your medication that you need for the week in it, so it's easy to remember. I bought you both a massage gun. It relaxes your muscles. When you're feeling tired, you can massage each other with it.
Childhood mortality, or in simple terms, childhood deaths, is an indicator of a society's or a nation's well-being and socio-economic status.
From this report again, we see that there is high male-female mortality compared to female. Under 5 mortality is at par in both rural and urban. It's at 41 deaths per 1,000 live births.
But what are some of the interventions that are being put, and what would you advise?
Delivery at a health facility will improve the chances of the mother and the child survive.
Ile tanki moja ndiye anaweka sio ya simu na narudi anaosha, anaweka maji
anaweka tena maji hapa.
Na kwa nini unalala?
Nifanye huko ndani tusi amku polisi.
Sasa unatupotezea wakati.
Mlipata ni hiyo maji ndio ilifanya mkao wa kwanza.
Hiyo maji ndio ilileta shida.
Kwa nini walikupali watu wakunywe uso ya watu?
Human faces ni choo, waste.
Oh, ni kisungu mmepatilisha sasa.
Mmebadilisha wapi?
Nasikelea uchumi ya Kenya, 75% of the GDP of the country anategemea nini? Ukimwangalia na katu kama exhaust anyway. Zura ukimwangalia watu matusi. Nimenyamaza, siongei.
Hutaki kujitetea.
Sitaki.
What's in Your Kitchen, a show that celebrates Kenyan and African dishes.
Rusha.
At the Lelani Annex Naivasha, she shared a bit of her life background story and her cooking skill.
Being careful? Yes, because I've seen some fire jump there.
That is called flambéing.
Flambéing.
So tukiona moto tujue ni flambéing.
Chele yetu iko sawa?
Perfect.
Iko sawa?
Tumalize sasa, ni kwenda tukule. Lakini hauendi.
Mimi siendi.
Hauendi.
Hiyo tutaongea kwa meza kwanza.
Sawa.
Salivate this delicious meal on your screen while taking notes for the recipe. Every Sunday, only on KBC.
Welcome back. Let's look at sports now, where Raraka Bay's headquarters sub-unit thrashed Alpha Company 3-0 on day 1 of the GSU Commandants Football Tournament that kicked off on Wednesday at the Embakasi Bay campus in Nairobi. Now, the tournament has attracted 8 teams drawn from different GSU formations. Let's get the details with Dan Mwenda.
Suleiman Moito scored the opening goal for Headquarters, who were drawn in Group B in the 10th minute of the first half, while Kevin Oduor netted the second goal 20 minutes later. Stephen Jure scored the third goal in the last minute of the second half, which sealed their win. Embakasi B sub-unit drew 1-1 against Victor Company in Group A. Moses Tulisi scored the opener for Victor Company before Joseph Sifuna responded for the host in the 25th minute of the second half.
Game leo imekuwa poa. Tulianza on a low note, ndo tukakuja kupatikana off guard na hiyo penalty, but after that tumejicompose, tukakuja na hiyo comeback ya draw.
Sendal china vitu zingine, at least wengine unapata wakumeenda nje, but at least ikirudi ita keep askari busy, ile the youth in them itatoka, so hiyo mambo ya kutumia the other drugs nini at least itatoka kwa askari.
In other matches, Quebec Company defeated Golf Sub-Unit 1-0. November Company drew 2-2 against Reggae Sub-Unit.
Wamekuwa na mpira mzuri, pia sisi tumestrike vizuri, tumengangana. Hopefully we have team victor, and as our name says, we are victorious.
Ile first half tulikuwa sawa, but second half watu wetu walichoka, being that maybe pia hatukuwa na wachezaji wengi wale tunaweza tegemea wa akiba, but all in all a draw si mbaya, tulikuwa kwao.
The main aim of the tournament is to unite the servicemen, ensure they remain fit, and fight off mental-related illness that have become rampant across the country. The final matches are slotted for Saturday at GSU headquarters in Ruaraka.
And that is Stella Onyango and not Dan Mwenda. Now, on that note, we come to the end of the news this morning. Thank you so much for your time. DJ Unique and Vivian are on standby to take you through the entertainment segment. My name is Marie Yambo. See you again next week.
The DJ other DJs want to be. It's the one and only.
DJ Unique, the messenger.
Request for love and favor. Walaya nanipenda. Papa God you unani love you. Sina mapenzi sina kitu najua unani jali yo. Wacha nikupe shukrani dali yo. Ulinipenda bure. No man alone nina celebrate. Ulinipenda bure. Wacha niji congratulate. Listen, ulinipenda unanipenda utanipenda. Ulinipromise ukasema utanilenga. Mpiga vitu umenilinda madifenda. Umenilinda toka Jan to December. Wewe huru na ukweli. Jina lako kuu Emmanueli. Wangu wa dhati na rafiki. Na shukuru asante.
Namsifu yetu yo Bwana Yesu, mwanzo mwisho, alfa ndo ye, omega ni ye. Sina ishu miniko na ye, anipenda ye. Kwake kuna zogo, ni upendo amejawa mapendo. Kwake kuna uongo, ni ukweli na mema matendo. Kwake kuna zogo, ni upendo
kitambo walicheza zilizolingala, lakini siku hizi wanacheza za kiroho. Bahari nesa na dangana, wapi nataka nini? Ngoma za Mungu za kiroho. Hari na dangana, wapi nataka nini? Ngoma za Mungu za kiroho. Nilicheza bolinga na ngai ila bado Mungu wangu linitunukia. Disco mimi nilicheza nikatesa ila bado Mungu wangu linivumilia. Nakumbuka tu Papa Lolo ila huku niacha solo. Papa Lolo ila huku niacha solo. Vile ninaishi bana ushuhuda, sitaki kusaliti kama Yuda disciple. Hata nienda stray unaniita bado. Walioniona kijijini wakati niko chini wanaweza kukusimulia. Uliza shule ibizo tukapatana mjini anaweza kukusimulia. Mahari ngesa na danganya.
Welcome back. This is Good Morning Kenya Entertainment Thursday, and right now we want to get to look at what has been trending in the world of social media, what has been happening on the gram, what has been happening on X, what has just been happening overall when it comes to entertainment. And I want to begin with Brown Mauzo's message. You guys know Brown Mauzo. He's an artist and baby daddy to Vera Sidika, and he just put up a message on his social media, and if I may quote what he said, "To my social media family, if I die, do not post me on social media on how much you loved me. Don't talk about what we had. If you genuinely do call or text me or DM me now and tell me how you feel about me, show me now, love me now." He says that akienda, don't try to post him. I think he was basically just talking about the fake love that we get to witness on them socials. What do you think about this message?
Mimi agree na yeye 100%.
But amefanywa nini ndo andike hivi? Unajua wezi tuka hivi uamue.
Unaona, actually even for me, that yo issue I've been I wanted to post there's a day I wanted to post in
the same thing.
The same thing.
Really?
Because people will just appreciate you when you're
after you're gone.
After you've gone.
It's unfortunate. I mean, we've seen that. I don't want to mention with who, but we always see that when maybe a famous person dies, then you get to see how many comments they get to have after that. And they can't even see these comments. They're no longer there. But then you look at the previous posts that the artist used to post. Ilikuwa na comments 3, comments 4, comments 5. Saizi iko na 1000 comments za RIP, oh, we will miss you. I agree with Mauzo.
Yeah, true.
Love people when they are here. Give people their flowers when they are here, and don't wait until they are gone and then now you start saying the way they were the greatest of all times. You know, there's another story here, but this is a sad one. I don't know if you saw the pictures that Avril posted yesterday, very early in the morning on her Instagram. Status. Do we call them status? Status near WhatsApp. On the Instagram stories, alikuwa amepost a picture of her with a swollen eye, and then the other one she had some sort of bandage here and she was bleeding, and she alluded that Jay Blessing, who is her baby daddy, was responsible for that. Apparently Jay Blessing has been allegedly Jay Blessing has been beating her. I don't know. It's really sad. Don't laugh about that, Unique. Why are you laughing? It's not funny. So
it's not funny.
Yeah, and then after a couple of minutes, we saw Jay Blessing responding, saying that it's not what it looks like. He didn't really beat her. I mean, it was all over the place, but I mean, we saw Avril akiwa ameumia, so si ati amejiumiza. And then Avril later akasema they are going to solve their own matters away from social media. Whatever happened. Jay Blessing akakubali there's a time something happened, there was an altercation between them, but that was way back. And then, I mean, gender-based violence is something we will never tire of talking about, and it is something that is very, very serious. I mean, kama mapenzi haifanyi kazi, wewe si baba ya mtu. Usimtandike, toka uende. You know, if love is not working, just leave. You guys don't need to be fighting and hurting each other. We've seen cases where people die in relationships and in marriages. See, must. It is not a must. If it is not working, just walk out.
Just walk out.
Just walk out. Simple as that. Now, away from that, Huda Monroe. Huda Monroe is apparently engaged. I didn't see the ring though. I just saw a guy, akiwa menil, you know, and yeah, she has gotten herself a Persian man. Congratulations to her. CG, by the way. I don't know if there's something she's about to launch or if it's actually true. Now, this is the thing with celebrities. Like, we can't even congratulate you, tukikuwa sure, ama tuko, you know, because we're not sure if there's something new you are about to launch. True. Is this really true? I didn't see the ring. I didn't really see the ring in the pictures that she posted. But congratulations to her. And all the best if it's actually real. Alafu, there's a new song that is making airwaves across the world, not just in Kenya or the continent, and the song is Mwaki. Hey, that song is fire. Unique, do you know it?
Yeah,
it has this EDM kind of sound, not even kind of sound, it has an EDM sound. Inaitwa Mwaki. It's been done by a Kenyan. The lady is called Sophia Nzao. Mwaki. It's a Kikuyu song, but iko na EDM, so it sounds really cool, and everyone has been reposting it all over the world, and it's actually the first Kenyan song to surpass 2.4 million streams on Spotify in less than a week. Less than a week, 2.4 million streams on Spotify. And I mean, I'm sure she's going to beat the record for East Africa. Kama in only a week, she had 2.4 million streams. And we are loving it. Just the fact that I'm seeing it all over, everyone reposting it from all over the world, just questioning, what language is this? What is this? It's, you know, it's fire. It's fire like that. You'll play it baadaye. Watu wajue tunaongelelea nyimbo gani. And then, international gospel artist Hillsong London has arrived in Kenya and is set to perform this weekend. So for the people who really love some praise and worship songs, Hillsong is in the country and will be performing, so better find ways of getting your tickets. And last but not least, we had a fan complaining. There's a fan who has tattooed herself and had this tattoo where he had the Brooklyn Boys logo and the slogan akajiandika Brooklyn Boys. Yani fan wa Brooklyn Boys zile kabisa. Ukiona mtu ameenda kajitattoo ati nimeandika hapa Unique the DJ.
Die Hard.
That's a die-hard fan. But the fan was complaining because anasema they don't even recognize me. So this leads me to this question. When you're tattooing an artist, a celebrity's, a famous person's name on yourself, do you are you doing it because you want them to see it? Are you doing it just out of love?
Now that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why unajua ukitattoo somebody on your body, si lazima aone. It's for you.
Yeah.
Not for him, the person. Maybe he hata realize hata takuona.
Yeah. So huyo amekasirika kwa sababu, why are you not recognizing me? Na mimi nimechora logo yenu, slogan, everything. Mbona hamni recognize? Okay, I mean, if Brooklyn have seen that huyo amefanya hivyo, at least they should just upload the person wakikuwa na gig wamwache akam free, because mtu amekaa akachorwa. But don't do it with expectations. Yeah, ukiamua kuchora we chora and then we relax, because ukiandika akina Beyonce watakuonea wapi? So only that Brooklyn are here, so you expect they need to recognize you, they have to. Anyway, that is up to, I don't know what you feel about that story. When you tattoo someone's name, is it a must for them to like recognize you? And if they don't, do you cover up the tattoo? Actually, there's an option of covering it up. Anyway, that is all we had right here on our trending topics. But right now, we are going to dive straight into our first interview. And I will be joined, she's actually getting on set. Just come in, Cooper. I will be joined by the beautiful Cooper Rust. She's not new to these screens of Good Morning Kenya, especially Entertainment Thursday, because she's been here severally. She's been here a number of times, and she's here to talk about a new project today. Cooper? welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much for having me back, Vivian. It's an honor to be here.
Always a pleasure having you on set. Let's get straight into what you're here for. You're here for a play, a ballet.
A ballet.
Yes, a ballet play that should be happening. Just tell me about the Nutcracker.
So, well, it's new for this year. It's actually become part of the Kenyan calendar. It's our 9th year doing the Nutcracker here in Nairobi, and it's it's a ballet that will be performed over 2 weekends at the National Theatre to get us all in the holiday spirit. It's kind of crazy. November's here. It's time to get ready for Christmas and all the holidays, and Nutcracker is how we kick it off in the ballet world.
When you talk about ballet, now that you've been around in Kenya for a while, you know, doing ballet and teaching ballet, what do you feel is the reception of ballet in the country this far? Because it's not something that we were used to maybe years back.
Yeah, no,
it's something that is quite new in Kenya. So how is the reception?
It's been incredible. When we started, it was mostly, we had a bunch of expat students, children from around the world that are here in Nairobi because of the UN or the embassies or any of this, and then sponsored students, so children that we give scholarships to. But now, almost 10 years later, there's such a huge reception from middle-class Kenyans and just everybody. Everybody loves ballet. So we've got kids coming from all areas of Nairobi and sometimes even students coming from around the country to see the ballets. Everybody is feeling the ballet. The first year we did the Nutcracker at the National Theatre, we had 3 performances. So that was an audience of about 900 people. Now we present the show 9 times for paying audiences and then 1 show for underprivileged kids to come for free. So we do 10 performances now with an audience of nearly 3,000 people. So it's really gone from something that parents of the performers used to see to something that people just enjoy and want to get to the theater for.
There's a perception that ballet is for the rich.
Yes.
What do you say about that? Is it actually true?
Well, it's not even just the rich. It was also really thought of as something that Europeans and Americans did, and not, there wasn't really a place for African people in the ballet. And we've disproved that hugely. We've got incredible dancers now that have come from Dance Center Kenya, dancing in companies. Joel Kiyoko and Lavender Orisa went to English National Ballet School and then have danced in Chicago and now in Wisconsin. And we have Eugene Ochieng, who's now at the University of North Carolina School for the Arts. And we have these incredible Kenyans who are now breaking through. Carrie Yamane just and Eugene just went to Italy and won gold at an international ballet competition.
Wow.
And yeah, people, Kenya won gold. Like, yes, like the Kenyan ballet scene is
They're
just
used to Kenya winning gold in the marathon.
Running, yes, yeah. You're not gonna run. Like, no, we're gonna dance. And they were just so beautiful and brilliant. And Carrie's dancing the Dewdrop Fairy. Eugene is left now for the States, but Carrie, who just won, is here. And she'll be dancing one of the lead roles, so she's something not to miss now that she's just back from winning in Italy.
So we are demystifying that it's only for the rich, because we're seeing children from underprivileged, families also getting into ballet and learning ballet.
Absolutely.
And being absolutely spectacular at it.
Incredible. And I even love that it's at our school and in our company, it's such a mixture that one child might be coming from Brayburn or Brookhouse, and the other child is coming from Karen C, one of the government schools, and they dance together and they're best mates. And they don't care, because it's just who does the best pirouettes, who does the best, dancing, not whose parents have the most money. It just doesn't come into the studio. It's just who can sweat the most.
Yeah, and that's the thing with art, really. I feel like it just brings people together. It does not matter where you're from. It does not matter how you look like. It does not matter the color of your skin. It does not really matter when it comes to art. If you gel, you just gel.
If you're good, you're
get
good.
into the art. Yeah, if you're good, you're good. So that is something that is really, really nice about art. Don't you agree?
100%. I love that. And back to the Nutcracker, one of the special things is that we do it every year. So many of these kids, they were little mice, and then the next year they're a soldier, and then the next year they move up and they're an angel, and then they move up, and one day they're the Sugar Plum Fairy, the lead in the ballet. So even the Nutcracker plays into this long-term, them seeing themselves as artists and really being proud of what they're doing.
All right, that title, the Nutcracker, where did it originate from? Because I understand that this is a ballet dance that has been there for years, and when I say years, I mean years on end, from 1892, and it's always been happening. Like, people still do it. It's a tradition. So where did that term, maybe the Nutcracker, come from? Is there a nut that people are cracking on set?
So it even comes, the story comes from 1816. E.T.A. Hoffman wrote this story, The Nutcracker and the Mouse King. And the story is a little girl at Christmas, Clara, receives a Nutcracker doll. So this is a soldier-looking doll, but it cracks nuts. And she receives this doll. She falls asleep under the Christmas tree, and the doll grows and turns into a prince, basically. And after he fights the evil Rat King, the soldier mask goes away, and he does turn into a handsome prince, and he takes her to the land of the sweets. And it's a bit of a strange story, but it's a lovely story. They go and they see all the Spanish chocolate and Arabian coffee, and all these international performers dance for them. But then it turns out that she's just a little girl, and she wakes up, and it was just a dream. But her Nutcracker prince is what takes her. So that was in 1816 that it was written. And then in 1892 in Russia, it was first performed after Petipa choreographed it to Tchaikovsky's score. Yeah. So Tchaikovsky and Petipa wrote or produced some of the best ballets of all time: Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, and the Nutcracker. So that they were a dream team, Tchaikovsky the composer and Petipa the choreographer.
So the Nutcracker is a Christmas tradition in ballet. The same way that we normally have movies, that it's kind of a tradition. We have to watch these movies around the time of Christmas, from the Home Alones. So
and Elf and The Grinch.
Yes.
And this is a lot like
for ballet.
For ballet. And it's not just for people that do ballet. This is your chance to come see the ballet, to get you in the Christmas spirit. A lot of business, I even have some good friends that are businessmen around Nairobi, and they say, like, oh, I can't wait to take my kids to see the Nutcracker. Not because they're dancers, but because it's good to go see the art and be a part of it and put you in the Christmas spirit.
And the fact that it's live, it's different when we're watching the movies in the home, in our homes. This one is live. You're there, you're watching the kids as they do their thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's live theater is always more exciting. Anything can happen. It's like sports. Watching it on TV is fun, but when you're in the arena, it's mind-blowing. You feel like you're part of it. And in the theater, you don't know what's going to happen. Somebody could fall, hopefully not. Somebody could do something extraordinary that's never been done before. You could be seeing here, especially in our shows, you might be seeing the next Mikhail Baryshnikov or famous dancer. So right now you get to see them at the National Theater, but they'll be in Europe in a week. You don't know. So it is really, being in the theater is a very special thing. And for young people, just the smells and the visuals and everything, it's very, very exciting.
Unique, do you know anything about ballet? I have ambushed you, yes. Do you know anything about ballet?
Ballet ni ile game the dance that sijui unafanya
they dance on their toes. Yeah.
I know it.
At least you know they dance on their toes.
And they have the big tutus, right? Like the big flat tutus.
The tutus, that's what they wear, and then the
and the men do the big lifts.
Yeah.
So like the men and big leaps and things. It's not just for the ladies. If you need to come to technique class, we have ballet class at Lavington Mall. You should.
But I don't think, can someone learn at this age? I think that
Absolutely. You might not end up being the most famous ballet dancer of all time, but you know, like it's like playing football or something. Like you could always pick it up
as a hobby.
As a hobby, sure, absolutely.
All right.
I mean, who am I to limit anybody? But yes, it's a great. We have adult ballet class all the time, and it's really fun. And you just come and laugh at yourself a bit because it is hard.
All right, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll get to know, for those of you who have never watched a ballet dance, where you will be able to go catch this particular one so that you at least be in the know. Let's take a break.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Sallallahu alayhi wasallam alituhimiza tutekeleze mambo ambayo natija yake ni kukaribia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na kupata radhi zake.
Je, wewe kama mwanadamu umeweza kuimarisha vipi mafungamano yako katika wewe kama mja na Mola wako tabaraka wa taala?
Balle balle balle.
All right, welcome back. We are back with Entertainment Thursday, and I was speaking to Cooper before we took that break. And Cooper, I have a question on, does size have anything to do with ballet? Because I'm imagining if there's lifting and, you know, some lifting happening, does size have anything to do with ballet? So can I come if I am a bit, you know?
Absolutely. One, it's a wonderful form of fitness. So there is a lot that can be gained from taking ballet. And pas de deux, which is the lifting of the girls by the men, that's really for advanced level ballet.
You said it's called?
Pas de deux. The dance of two.
Pas de deux.
So yes, a step of two. So it's when the men and the women dance together. That doesn't happen until you've trained for many, many years. But there is a conception that you would be like the perfect size ballerina. And I am way too tall to be a ballerina, typically. But I had an amazing career. I danced for many companies throughout America. And it's one of those things like being a short basketball player. Like, you just have to be that much better. So, yeah, and we, especially at Dance Center Kenya, really try to stay away from all of the negative stereotypes with body shape and all of that. Like, our dancers are healthy and they're just there to work. We're not there to talk about each other's size of any of their body parts. It's just how to be healthy and how to enjoy it. And with professional ballet companies, it's a little bit more particular, but we don't even have a professional ballet company here yet. I do have that dream for Kenya in the future. There's 2 companies in South Africa, so it's certainly possible to have companies, and we're on our way. But yeah, for students, I would never get involved with discussing that. And if there was someone who couldn't maybe do so much partnering, we just find a different solo part for them, and make sure that everybody always feels welcome and needed.
Like it should be. Like it should be.
Thank you. Yeah.
So how old are the other children performing
My
on
goodness.
the Nutcracker?
The littlest one is 3. And that's when I started in the Nutcracker. I told you back in 1989 when I was 3 years old, I did my first Nutcracker. And so we have little tiny mice and cherub angels that are 3, 4, 5 years old. And then our eldest students are about 18. And I even have a good friend coming in from Turkey, a principal dancer, to do the male lead role, Ejit Yerhan. He's coming in, and he's a professional principal in his 30s. So that's also something worth coming to see, as our guest artist who's flying in this weekend.
So it's one play, or is it divided into some sub-plays, or it's one play?
It's one story.
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky, who composed this ballet, actually didn't like the fact that he created it in a way that it is divided a bit. The second act, it doesn't flow like one piece of music. There's a Spanish dance, an Arabian dance, a Chinese dance, these dances, and they don't flow the way that other ballets do. You stop, you clap, you move on. So it feels a little bit more like a bit like a recital than Swan Lake or something like that. But now the public has loved it for almost 200 years. So even though Tchaikovsky, he didn't love it himself, people around the world, you can see Nutcracker in Korea, you can see Nutcracker in America, you can see Nutcracker in Kenya. It's everywhere, so it's very popular, even if the original writers didn't love it.
Okay. What will be different compared to the last one? You said this is the 9th edition in the country, in Kenya. If we look at the 8th edition from how it went, what will be different maybe this time?
There was a big, before COVID, we had the full orchestra come, but with a lot of international support. So we had a guest conductor, guest violins, guests for the 2 years before COVID. Then right after, we didn't have Nutcracker for COVID, which was the only year in my life that I wasn't involved in the Nutcracker.
Since 1989.
Since I was 3. And, but now, last year we were able to bring the full orchestra back, and it was nearly all Kenyan. But this year, Levi Wataka, our conductor from here in Nairobi, who works with the Safari Com Youth Orchestra, the Nairobi Orchestra, he is the man. He's conducting for us, and it is a fully Kenyan orchestra. And so that's 32 musicians who have come together, and just to have a live orchestra play for the ballet is exceptional. A lot of people just use a recording, but so I think the orchestra is one of the biggest draws. Additionally, we have a brand new backdrop that this is a painting that our backdrops are they go all the way across the back of the theater. So you have to think about 15 meters by 9-10 meter painting for the second act. So we've used the same backdrop since 2016. So this is a big piece of art that's being introduced. And then we haven't had a guest artist come to perform the lead male role in many years, since I think 2019. So having this guy come in from Turkey is very exciting. I mean, it's just, there's lots of little things also. One of my kids, one of my sons said, there's a maid in the first act that cleans up, and he asked, he's like, could she have a boyfriend? Could there be a butler? And so we've added a new little character in the first act of the butler. I call it Francis's butler because it was my son Francis who came up with the idea. But it's always changing and evolving and just getting better.
All right. I want you to take the time to look at your camera and invite people to come for the ballet show that will be happening. Tell us where it's happening, what days, what time. Invite them.
So, Dance Center Kenya is presenting the Nutcracker at the Kenya National Theatre 1 week from tomorrow. It opens Friday, November 24th. We have that first evening show. We have 2 shows on Saturday, the 25th, 2 shows on Sunday, the 26th, and all of the next weekend, 2 shows on December 2nd and 2 shows on December 3rd. December 2nd is going to be an extra special performance that evening at 7 o'clock is the gala event. If you want those tickets, it includes a welcome drink and appetizers and a big cocktail party to begin with. So that is a night to get dressed, go on a date, take your girl to the ballet. She'll be very impressed. And just get the Christmas season started. There's a moment for adults, there's moments for children. It is a lovely ballet, and it will be one of the last shows at the National Theater before renovations. So the theater's closing. You need to get to the theater before it closes for the beginning of next year and see the Nutcracker.
All right, thank you. And as she has said, this will actually be the perfect date. You know, if you take a girl for their first date to a ballet show, standards, you will have set your standards. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And all the best on the show. I hope to come.
You'll be there.
At least one.
Gotta be.
All right. We'll take a short break right now, a short musical break, but don't you go too far. Entertainment Thursday gets to continue.
Wamelala leo mindo ninacho, kuna wenzangu hawajala, japo umenitoa kwenye shimo, umenipa pendo swa kipimo, wakiitwa watu na minimo, thanks Lord for the best. Alikadhalika na mimi nakosea, si malaika, sijakamilika, nikosea tena, Mungu nisamehe. Alikadhalika na mimi nakosea, si malaika, sijakamilika, nikosea tena, Mungu nisamehe. Asante Mungu kwa wema wote, asante Mungu kwa wema wote, asante Mungu kwa wema wote, asante Mungu kwa wema wote.
Yeah, nasema asante kwa wema wote, ukarimu wako ndo umefanya mimi nisikose. Victory ushanipea in full doses, and I recover even when I take my losses. Especially love you can set it kwa kona, neno lako ndo miwa na keti na soma. Check underestimate na jiwa when you performer, cause you healed my mama time alikuwa dedi corona. Another reason for me kurudisha mkono, kwangu jawai kwa mteja, you never turned your phone off. Was every time I call, well pick up. Same way, every time I fall, won't you pick up. Asante nasema Monday to Sunday, nangoja one day heaven nipande tubanje. Campaigners my pangwe na anthem, na ndo isai nasema asante na shangwe.
Mungu kwa wema wote,
looking like an angel light. She told me that me burning like a dynamite. She flashed like a lighter in any candlelight, and then she said, "Oh, this on me." Yeah, you know, so when you move your body, hold on tight. Make it not drop to hurt nobody, make it a watch your side. I make it pick up, on you no be fight, and then she said, "Oh, this on me." Boy, you know, say if I give you body, you go search it, you know go fit. Run the MIC, cause you gonna lose control. Hey, with your busy body, you go search it, I go to still. Run the MIC, I no go lose control. Boy, you go lose control. Girl, I no go lose control. Boy, you go lose control. I will tell you on when I grab you to break it down. You go lose control. Say, baby, if I catch you, I will tell you on when I grab you to break it down. You go lose control. Man, got the night till I fade out. Keep the vibe no pure on my way out. Pull a balu, anytime we step out. The men them outside, we know they out. No, they look for us, we know they out. Do they see the moolah, we don't spray out. Thank God, said the maga don't pay out. Oh, see, I'm ahead of them, I she want you. I'm a fucking baller, you got only me. No man fit talk shit to me. Me look me, you go collect oh. See, I'm on a me, the leader, she want you. I'm a fucking baller, you got only me. No man fit talk shit to me. Me look me, you go collect oh. Chasing my friends and click. When I call them, I'm on the queen. I'm strong, I'm with the guns and the sword. Spring left, everybody try this.
Calvino Dogo, Awero Kenya. Calvino Dogo, Awero Kenya. Awero Rais, Kermar Kenya. And Awero Rais, Kermar Kenya. William Samuel, Manorais. William Samuel, Manorais. Ni kazi ya Mungu leo uko rais. Ni kazi ya Mungu naongoza Kenya. Ni kazi ya Mungu, mapenzi ya Mungu. Mimi ninaona ni Mungu. Mimi nikitazama ni Mungu tu. Kama wewe ni mzalendo, penda nchi yako. Kama wewe ni mzalendo, penda rais wako. Rais wetu ni William Samoei Ruto. Enda hospitalini, universal health, slum subgrading, national housing. Ukienda Kibira, barabara zote sawa. Toa ujinga, masomo bora. Kutoka Mombasa hadi Busia, standard rail gauge. Kutoka Mombasa hadi Busia, standard rail gauge. Tuombe rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Rais William Samoei Ruto, Mungu amwezeshe. Lelelelele, UDA. Lelelelele, UDA. Arambe, UDA. Arambe, UDA. Kazi ni kazi ye. Kenya tujenge. Jenga Kenya. William Samoei Ruto. Jenga Kenya. President Ruto. Kenya. Nchi yetu. Weza na mamlaka. Tumepewa na Mungu. Kenya.
All right, welcome back. And I am joined by one Calvin Odongo, who is a singer and songwriter. Calvin, welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, I'm okay. Yeah.
I've seen you've just done a song for the president.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Why did you choose to write a song for President William Ruto?
For me personally, as Calvin, honestly, the song is my personal testimony about what I've seen. Because to be honest, who knew President Ruto or Dr. Ruto will be the president of the Republic of Kenya. Sometimes maybe we can see like the way everybody has the mind of how it happens, but the truth of the matter is, if God did not enable, then who enabled the William Ruto to be the president? So it is just my testimony that if I check on the background of the president and honestly where he has come from, for me, it is God does not call for the qualified. Sometimes you can see like maybe you are doing something at KBC and people say like, why have you been given this opportunity and you are not even in that position? Maybe even in terms of education you are not qualified, but God has a reason why you have been given such opportunity. So it doesn't require that you be qualified to be able to do something. There are some things which are done in grace. There are some things which are inborn wisdom which you can be able to do in life. So what I know is that God does not qualify, we call the qualified to be used by maybe in every society or maybe by God, but he looks for those unqualified so that he can be able to make a testimony, the feeble harms which can be able to be used outside there. So that is why I believe like it is a testimony. Maybe even some Kenyans maybe still seeing it like what is what, but what I believe is that God has planted a big testimony through William Ruto to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. The challenges can be there. And especially I've gotten many criticisms. Why did you lack what to sing for you to sing about President Ruto? They are there in my social handles. People are saying you lacked what to sing. You just take your money to the studio to do this kind of thing. So people are talking, I've been criticized everywhere. Yeah. But if you check on the words which are placed in that song, it is my personal testimony about what I believe. Maybe this is the reason why this person is there. So that is why I'm singing President Ruto, and I believe maybe if that is what I believe. Okay, one may think that you actually put the song out because maybe you want him to notice you, him to recognize you, you know. Was that what was playing in your mind when you thought of writing about it? Do you think, you know, pia unaweza kuangalia kuomoka? I mean, to be noticed, I've been there. I'm an award winner from the UN Habitat on the effort on fighting COVID-19 from 2020 to the period of COVID. So I don't go outside there maybe to look for the favor that they, and then I can remember 2013, I did another song on Uruto. And this song, I did it. I remember the place where I was staying, it was the zone for the ODM. Okay. And it was very rough for me. In fact, sometimes I could even get to the house in the evening when people are not seeing me because I was so much like, what have you done? Now, how can you sing the President Uhuru when Raila is fighting to be the president, especially me being a Luo? So those things are there. But now it is up to you, because now if what is bad when a singer sings his mind or her mind, and the politicians, which maybe immediately after election, someone was ODM and is running to UDA or something like that. What is bad? I'm not looking for, I know, I've been walking around where President Ruto is. I've been in the political lineage with those kind of processions. But what I believe is that I'm just specific in my song. I'm just specific in, can I be able to speak to the hearts which can be able to see? Sometimes God does not do things in a way, in open vacuum place where all of you can be able to understand. And that is why people, they say one verse in the Bible, if you say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not walk, I shall not lack. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not work. To many pastors, if you give them that word for them to translate or to give their interpretation of the same verse, you will find very many people, all of them maybe can have different version of why the Lord is my shepherd. So that is the interpretation we have on everything we do in life. Okay. Yeah. Are you looking into getting into a political career? Getting into a political career, if in 2022, I could be the MCA now for the Line Saba. But of which people have been doing, I have a youth community-based organization. PC Band Kenya is a youth community-based organization. I've been doing several things. I did even several donations from the Ministry of Health and giving to the vulnerable families within Kibera, Langata, and some parts of Kongware. So through that, people saw it that now you are a young man, can we be able to expose you outside there so that you can be able to go out and bring us some support? Because I've been doing, even most of the Decembers, I make sure I give some donations from what I can be able to get, maybe from some other friends also. I bring together, and then I can be able to give those women who can be able to put chapati on the table during that Christmas, something like that, or the first of January or 31st. So that is what I normally do. But now, when I was pushed by the community, those people who saw that I am capable as a youth maybe to go there and lead them, it came to the nomination of ODM. And the nomination of ODM, the list came, the result came through the person they wanted. So when the result came through the person they wanted, it came up. In fact, it is a zone for the ODM, but they were beaten by the wiper because all the ODM brigades, the voters turned against the person who was given the nomination, and they went for the wiper. And the person who was vying for the wiper took the ticket. So maybe that is for some days, God knows.
Okay, but are you concentrating more on your music or the organizational things that you do?
So much on how I can be able to give back to the community, because I have a testimony for my life, where I've come from and where I am. So even if maybe, for example, if maybe through this song, maybe President would want to do something to me, I can even advise the President to get to the community. I have an organization which is a youth community-based organization. There are some struggles they have. If that can be able to reach the President, then I can be very happy. Let him give them the support he can be able to give, not as Calvin as an individual. That is my focus. My focus is, can you be able to reach to that person? There are some people, maybe from the community where we came from, you have made it to be at KBC today. And what about those people? You cannot blame them that they didn't make it, but you know the struggle they went through. Or maybe even you as an individual, you know the struggle they went through for you to be a DJ today at the KBC. So those are the challenges. And that one we can only fulfill when you give back to those people who are also suffering in the same measure outside there.
Yeah. The band that you work with, tell me a bit about it. Is it with children? Is it with young people? Yeah.
The band that I work with is based in Kibera. That is the central place and part of Langata, because Kibera and Langata is already the same place, only the boundary for the electorate. But what we do is I bring the children together. They are young girls between the Form 1 and Form 4. Who are dancers. Purely they are a group of girls who are dancers. Their interest is to dance. And we have a group of young women and even the youth who are singers. They do music, those who are talented. What we do is, can we be able to, what we do, can we be able to, if you are an artist, maybe you are working in our band, and we see like Vivian is in a position to be able to produce a song. Can we be able to support Vivian to go to the studio, record this song, we see if it can be able to work for you outside there. So those are the things we do together so that we can be able to, because music also is also a tool which can change someone's life. So that is what we do. And also we lobby for the activities outside there. There's some activities we can go for outside. Maybe Nairobi County government is looking for, they have an event and they need a band which can be able to entertain there. So we can be able to lobby for the activities even during the weddings, so those kind of things, so that we give opportunity to these young youths. So whatever they bring on the pocket, even if it is that's more or little money, is what they can be able to buy for soaps, maybe something for some kind of upkeep.
All right, that's a really good initiative. Unique, my DJ. Do you have a question for our guest?
Yeah. You've mentioned that there's some charity project that you do for the community, and you still do music. How do you come up and maybe balance between the music and the projects?
Between the music, already we have the instrument for the organization. So these things, they match together. Where we meet, all of us, the common place where we meet is the place of practice. So after practice, can we be able, if you want maybe to clean part of Langata or part of Kibera. Maybe we just want to move out one of the Saturday to do some community activities. Then we begin it from the room of our practice. Can we be able to do a certain song? Can we be able to communicate? Maybe during the COVID-19, I just saw everyone was running away. No one could be able to come out maybe to tell the information about COVID. But I stood. PC Band was within all over the country, all over Nairobi. We were in almost every media. We are there doing interviews for the activities we are doing, reaching out for creating awareness, giving some kind of sanitizers, those kind of things, because there was some little support which were given from the Ministry of Health. So what we do is we must have a central place where we meet. And where we meet is where we do the practices, where we do the music. After music, then can we be able to reach outside there? If there are some women, maybe they are struggling to do something, can we be able to call our friends together? Because we have also some spiritual leaders who are supporting what we are doing. So can we call them together even one of the Sunday? If it is something to raise, maybe we can be able to buy for them some soaps. Can we be able to get it from our pocket? We don't have a direct sponsor, which is maybe someone sponsoring our organization. We just do it solely. If you are interested, you can be able, for example, sometimes we donate clothes. When we are donating clothes, we just talk to the friends and some churches where these members are coming from. That Sunday, if you have those clothes which are worn out, maybe you are not, your children are grown up, they are small now to your children, we just call them, tell them, can you bring them on Sunday? Then we can be able to give them to the people which can be fit in them.
All right. I want you to get to tell people where they can find you, where they can find your music as we go for a short break. PC Band Kenya. I have an handle which is PC Band Kenya in Twitter, PC Band Kenya, Facebook, PC Band Kenya where? That's
TikTok.
Your camera.
Okay, PC Band Kenya, Facebook, PC Band Kenya, Twitter, PC Band Kenya, TikTok, PC Band Kenya.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, PC Band Kenya.
Okay.
So if you search PC, even YouTube, PC Band Kenya. So that is where you can be able to find us.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
and
you
all
so
the
much.
best with the organization and your music as well.
Thank you so much.
All right. We take a short break right now. Don't you go too far. We'll be back.
You want a baby, then that's perfectly okay. You go ahead. I'm just concerned about your reasons, that's all. Do you want a baby because it's what's expected of you, or because you want one?
What to do? I'll do anything to make you happy. I will. Tell me.
I think we should break up. Home, tell your parents that you're going to bring me with you.
My parents don't know that I have a boyfriend, okay?
Oh, you've bought us so many presents, Nanjia.
Yeah, Nanjia. It's marked really clearly. You open it and put all your medication that you need for the week in it, so it's easy to remember. I bought you both a massage gun. It relaxes your muscles. When you're feeling tired, you can massage each other with it.
Childhood mortality, or in simple terms, childhood deaths, is an indicator of a society's or a nation's well-being and socio-economic status.
From this report again, we see that there is high male-female mortality compared to female. Under 5 mortality is at par in both rural and urban. It's at 41 deaths per 1,000 live births.
But what are some of the interventions that are being put, and what would you advise?
Delivery at a health facility will improve the chances of the mother and the child survive.
Ile tanki moja ndiye anaweka sikio ya simu na narudi anaosha, anaweka maji
anaweka tena maji hapa.
Na kwa nini unalala?
Nifanye huko ndani juice ya mku polisi.
Sasa unatupotezea wakati.
Mlipata ni hiyo maji ndio ilifanya mkao wa kwanza. Hiyo maji ndio ilileta shida. Kwa nini walikupali watu wakunywe uso ya watu?
Human faces ni choo, waste.
Oh, ni kisungu mmebadilisha sasa.
Mmebadilisha wapi?
Nasikelea uchumi ya Kenya, 75% of the GDP of the country anategemea nini? Ukimwangalia anakaa tu kama exhaust anyway. Zura ukimwangalia watu matusi. Nimenyamaza, siongei.
Hutaki kujitetea.
Sitaki.
body in the corner. Elisa, make a carry your matter from my shoulder. Break your waist tonight, send you okay. I could take my time tonight, solve for your case. Break your waist tonight, send you okay. I could take my time tonight, solve for your case. Elisa, my mother, Elisa, 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 my mother, Elisa, Elisa. Girl, if your legs are the gospel, then I go spread them widely. From Enugu to Bayelsa, from Kano down to Kalahari. And it's your body they define, they mesmerize me. From Enugu to Bayelsa, from Kano down to Kalahari. It's your body now me bend every fish to the kala. Make a credit your asa, put your fancy and dinner. Turn man to a sinner, just when you knock like a penta. See I'm addicted to your body, Elisa, baby. Elisa,
Oh, I remember when I told you about that song that is really, really, really breaking the records. That is Mwaki by Nzau, and it has 2.3 million views on Spotify. It got those views in less than a week, and you've heard it. So definitely you know that it is a fire song. You have confirmed it, and it's from the 254. So let's go ahead and support our own. And speaking of supporting Kenyan music, African music, and just good music in general, I am joined in studio by one Javan Okello and Maniac Main. Javan is the CEO and founder of Madaraka Festival, and Main is a US-based hip-hop rapper. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much for having us.
How are you feeling this morning?
Feeling great. Nairobi is beautiful. You know, every time I come back to Nairobi, it looks more like New York.
Right? I don't know what Main thinks about that. I think, is it your first time in Kenya?
Yeah, it's my first time, but I've been to a couple of different African countries in general, and Kenya is pretty fire.
It is fire, right?
Kenya is pretty fire.
And as I was telling you, you would pass for a Kenyan. I mean, if I just met you and I had not read your bio, for sure, I mean, you look Kenyan.
I mean, we're all African people. Come on now.
We are. I want to give you a Kenyan name.
Okay, what's up? They made me Ken yesterday. I need a name now.
I want to give you a name. Kamau.
Kamau.
Yeah, you'd pass for a Kamau.
Kamau, all right. Kamau.
You take it?
I'm taking it.
Anywhere you go, you ask for your Kenyan name, just say Kamau. I'm Main Kamau.
Yeah, Kamau is good for a rapper because Kama from Kalamashaka
exactly.
is, you know, so
I don't even thought about it.
Yeah.
There we go. Kamau it is.
All right,
Kamau.
Kamau. All right, there you go.
Welcome to Kenya and welcome to Good Morning Kenya. I want to start with the name Maniac.
Oh,
because the name Maniac, we know what it means. So
oh, you do?
I mean, maniac, someone who's, when you go maniac, just tell me about it.
I didn't know you knew what maniac meant. So, all right, so maniac, it came from when I was a little younger. So I just kind of kept it because, you know, just to tell my story in a sense. But the name just, you know, I was kind of wild when I was younger. So I kind of just, you know, incorporated in my name in a sense. It's nothing too big. I'm a good guy, actually. Like, you know, I'm a real good guy.
So you
can ask about me. Like,
I ask about you.
Yeah, you can ask about me. I'm a good guy. Like,
all right. Sorry, my director. Okay. So now there's a question I always ask every person who's into music, and that is their earliest memories of music. Javan, what is your earliest memories of music? Just to get to know your history with music. When did you first encounter music and realize that actually there's something known as music?
Yeah. Well, I would say honestly it was in church. You know, growing up in Kenya, for those of us who grew up here, the first interaction with music is in church, you know. So that's really my first engagement with music. But it was live music, you know, drums, you know, the clapping, the singing, you know. And then after that is when I began getting exposed to reggae, actually. Reggae was my next stop after after Sunday
tell
school.
From
Yeah.
the locks.
Yeah. So it was reggae, and I think Maniac is, I don't know if you know, but he's Jamaican, even though he lives in the States, he's Jamaican. So we have, you know, I can relate to who he is because of the reggae connection. But yeah, reggae, the
Is
church.
it that reggae was being played in your home?
No.
Or were you interacting with reggae music?
Yeah, this is a funny story. My sister's boyfriend wanted to distract me, so he gave me headphones, and Baniwela was the artist playing, and that's how I fell in love with reggae. You know, so he gave me the headphones, the Walkman. You remember Walkman?
Yes.
Yeah. So he gave me the Walkman, and he took my sister. You know?
But at least he got you into good music, you know?
Yeah. Until now, I'm still stuck with music.
Yeah. Main, what are your earliest memories of music?
My earliest memories, maybe like when I'm like 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. I remember like my sisters, they used to play like Tupac. This is me being like a baby now. Like my sisters, I'm listening to what my sisters listen to. So they used to play Tupac. I remember like Missy Elliott, like Aaliyah. Like I remember like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I remember hearing those things when I was younger. And then afterwards, I want to say like what I really heard, or what really I took to it was at first it was Jay-Z, but then after that I want to say like Lil Wayne. He would probably, Lil Wayne actually would probably be after that.
Would you say that's really like impacted your music, your style of music now? Did it impact the way you do your music?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. Because I feel like when people listen to my music, I have more of like an old soul to it, like more of an old flavor, because of what I was what I was brought up listening to. Like I feel like I listen to real music, and so it's like what I mimic is real music. You know what I mean?
All right, now that you're originally from Jamaica, you know, one would expect that, I mean, you should be a dancehall artist, you should be a reggae artist. Why hip-hop? Well,
I grew up in the States, though. So I left Jamaica when I was like 2 years old, 3 years old. So I grew up in the States, so like, it was just like, that's what the people did in the States, you know, they did hip hop. So I was like, you know, I got into that. But it's funny you say that, because after a while, I came back to the reggae, I came back to the dancehall. So now I can do it pretty well. You know what I mean? I actually surprised myself.
Can you really do the patois thing?
Yeah, man, what do you mean?
In it. Okay, in it is not for patois. Wow. Wagwan.
Yeah, wagwan. Where I say this? Where I say?
I can't really try to do anything with that. But I hear you. Now, Javan, you've been very, very instrumental. You're an artist yourself, but you've been really, really instrumental in putting our music out there. And by our music, I want to specifically narrow it down to Kenyan music, because we've seen you do that over and over in the USA. Just why was that very important for you? You know, knowing that you're an artist, one would think, okay, I just want to promote my music. I don't really care about anyone else. So why did you take it upon yourself to take it as a duty, whereby you want to get people into our music?
You know, it actually started in Kisumu. You know, I grew up in Kisumu, and when the post-election violence happened in 2008, I produced a festival. You know, it was called Unite the People Festival, and the impact of that, you know, we were able to make a lot of money and use it to feed kids who had been impacted by what was going on. So after that, I realized that even if you're an artist and you don't have a platform like your own festival that you can control, you can't really push yourself. So when I had the opportunity to move to the States, I realized that the same challenge we were facing here was also there. The African population, the Kenyan population is growing really fast, but we don't have an event that we are proud of, you know. We have events that are happening in dilapidated buildings where you don't even know where you're going. So Madaraka Festival has been an example of how to do things right, do it in the right venues, work with the right artists, you know, and just put in the work, you know. So next year is our 10-year anniversary, and you know, I'm just so privileged that I'm traveling with him, showing him Kenya, but also I'm enjoying a lot of support from artists like him who are not even Kenyan, but they believe in Madaraka Festival, and it's really how you can make it in America. You can't make it on your own or just with the Kenyan community, but you have to find people who really believe in your vision, and they can walk with you the journey of really, you know, making something major. You know, Madaraka is now the biggest African festival in the US.
It is?
Yeah, it happened in 6 cities this year, next year in 15 cities. So it's something, you know, unique. There's no Kenyan event that is as big as Madaraka outside of Kenya.
That's amazing. And before I get into Madaraka, because I want us to talk more about the Madaraka Festival, which is actually what you're promoting right now, I want us to speak about sound. And by sound, I want us to get into our sound as Kenyans. Because for the longest time, we've been having debates of people saying the reason why our music is not really crossing borders like it should is because we don't have a particular sound that we are pushing. What do you think?
I think we have a sound. You know, just a few days ago, a friend of mine who is in studio with us and myself, we were listening to Gidi Gidi Maji Maji. We were listening to Nonini.
Those are throwbacks.
Yeah, and then we came to even Ben Soul, Boutros, and the core of our music is the same. You know, it's Kapuka. You know, Kapuka. You know, just the same drums. You know, it's the same thing. But I think Bien is doing a really good job by infusing, you know, a little bit of what do you call this? Kiswahili influenced Lingala. What do you call it? Zilizopendwa. You know, I think our sound is going to be what Bien is actually doing now. Have you listened to my Sheri?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that is our sound.
From the album.
Yeah, that's the sound that is going to beat Afrobeat in the international market.
You think so?
Yes, because I think Afrobeat is a wave. And in the American
I've
market,
not had anyone say that Afrobeat is a wave.
I was just going to say that.
It's
I
a
swear
wave.
to you, I was just
It's a
gonna say
wave.
that.
Have you heard someone
I've never
say,
heard someone say that.
So tell us more.
It's a wave, and it's being overplayed in America. Burna Boy is being over-toured in America. You know, and yeah, I'm telling you the truth. And if you go to Burna Boy's show, 60% are Kenyans.
Yeah.
And then when Sauti Sol comes to the States, it's like a religious gathering. People are emotional. People want to be there. That's different. You know, people don't just come to enjoy their music, but they come to spend. They bring their family. They bring their kids. If you see people at Madaraka, you think that one of these popular religious people have arrived. You know, so there is that passion, and you know, the Kenyan and the African immigrant population is growing. But what people are hungry for is East African music. Look, even Burna Boy himself says Afrobeat has no substance. A lot of Afrobeat artists are just, you know, they're not giving people, you know, dope messages that can really change lives. For example, who is the Fela Kuti of our time when you think about it, really? You know, who is using his music for, you know, for social good like Fela Kuti or Bob Marley did, you know? I don't think you can point
I really can't point anyone top of my mind. What do you think about that, Main? Because you were kind of disagreeing.
No, like
I
kind of see his point actually a little bit. I think I get what you're saying. There hasn't been too many influential people like that. But I would say Burna Boy is influential in himself.
He is 100%. But Burna Boy has not gone to the street like Fela Kuti did. He has not been jailed for fighting for people's rights.
But do we all need to go through
I'm
that
just saying. I'm just saying. There are certain things that the world needs right now. You know, look at what's going on in Gaza. Look at what's going on in Congo. We need artists to speak about this, to do things about this. That's what music is supposed to be about. Yeah.
What is music to you, Main?
Life. Full stop.
Music is just life. It's what you do. It's what you.
Yeah. Music is to me. It's like, you know, it's what you do when you feel down. It's what you do when you feel happy. What you do when you're in a good, in a you know, in a bad mood, in a good mood, in a sad mood. It's you know, you could be in a bad mood and then listen to music and it automatically puts you in a good mood. It enters your soul, whether you want it to or not.
And what is this tour doing to you? What is it doing for you when you look at it and you know you've just started the tour, or maybe what do you hope to get out of it, musically speaking?
Well, I want to work with a couple artists, you know, out here. I want to see what, like you were mentioning about, you guys were talking about the Kenyan sound. Like, I kind of want to see what that's like. I want to see what, you know, as far as being in Kenya in general, I kind of want to explore here to see what's going on out here as well. Maybe, you know, do the nightlife out here or something like that, see what's happening.
You should. Our nightlife is crazy.
Really?
Crazy.
Okay. All right.
We
I
call
might take
it
you up on
sherehe.
it.
Sherehe Sheria.
Okay.
That is what we say here. Now, have you gotten to listen to any maybe Kenyan songs?
I've heard, we were listening to a few in the car. I haven't, like, I'm not sure which artists they were, but I listened to a few. I'm still trying to get, you know, I'm still trying to get the taste of it, you know. And last night we went out, and I was hearing, they did like a karaoke, so I was hearing like all the songs you guys had. Simon did karaoke. But it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard it then, and I was like, you know, it sounds pretty cool. It actually sounds like you guys have like a little bit of influence of reggae. Am I mistaken?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, I'm mistaken or I'm right?
No, really, you're not mistaken.
Okay.
You are partially right.
Okay, because I felt a little, because it's like I got to listen to it for a little while longer, but
yeah,
you know, I'm still taking it in.
It's true. We played for him Nazizi, like songs like Mos Mos, Kenyan Guy, Kenyan Girl, Kenyan Boy. We played for him.
Definitely, you're really into the throwback music.
Yeah.
Does it mean that we don't make them like we used to now? Don't we make music like we used to back then? Because you're just referencing to our throwbacks.
Well, I think you can't forget where you came from. It's the foundation, you know. Like Mos Mos, if you played it for a Kenyan audience in London or Netherlands or Seattle, they would all be singing, you know. They would all be singing because it means something to them, you know. And of course, Angela by Boutros means something to everyone now, you know. Lucy by Ben Soul also means something, you know. So I would say that all music is important, but we really have to, for example, Bob Marley, you know, many people wake up with Bob Marley songs because they mean something, you know, yeah.
What's the importance of keeping your heritage, keeping that heritage?
You know, I'm a father of 3 girls, and if I forget my heritage, they will all forget who they are, you know. And so really it's that simple, you know. And especially if you're living away from home, you know. For example, I speak Luo and Kiswahili fluently, better than a lot of us here. And it's because that's how I want to remember who I am and teach it to my kids. It's, you know, if you don't know your heritage and you're not proud of your culture, your music, your language, your food, then you can easily disappear. If you do that, those are the kind of Kenyans that never come home. We have Kenyans who have been in the States for like 30, 50 years.
We have Jamaicans too.
Never go back
I feel
home.
your pain, brother. I feel your pain.
Have you gone back home?
Of course, every year.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
And he's home now, you know.
Of course, I'm here, as you can see.
Okay. All right. And on that note, we'll take a short break. Don't you go too far. We'll be back with this conversation.
So you really want a divorce? I will give it to you. But I will take everything. All of it, Arturo.
I don't care, Alvaro. Get easy. I give you my word that I'll get you out of there. I will do everything in my power. We will get our revenge on every single one of that Otero fools.
Love to try and make it work. I really do.
But I just can't.
And why can't you?
Put yourself in my place.
There he is.
Danielle.
Mother.
Oh, Danielle, my beautiful son. This is a miracle.
You're no longer your maid. You're no longer welcome in this house.
Say that again.
What, are you going to hit me until I obey you?
Sallallahu alayhi wasallam alituhimiza tutekeleze mambo ambayo natija yake ni kukaribia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na kupata radhi zake.
Je, wewe kama mwanadamu umeweza kuimarisha vipi mafungamano yako katika wewe kama mja na Mola wako tabaraka wa taala?
Balle balle balle.
And we are back. I am sure that you are enjoying the show just as much as I am here. As I am here on Good Morning Kenya Entertainment Thursday. And just before we went for a break, I had our guests with me. I had already introduced them. If you're just joining in, you've not missed the party. We're still on. Now, Javan,
yes.
Tell me about the tour that you're on right now, because you are on an East African tour.
Yes.
You're here in Kenya, you'll be going to Dar es Salaam. Just tell me about it and what you're expecting to get out of it.
So this has been a dream of mine, you know, to do an East African tour, but not to do it by myself, and to bring someone who really needs to see East Africa from my eyes, but also who gets value out of it, you know. A lot of African Americans and even you know, African Jamaicans, they always want, they see Africa as the motherland. It's their motherland, and for me, I feel like it's my duty to show them the motherland. So that's one thing that I'm doing with my brother Maniac Main. But you know, one of the things that I've learned in the last year is that the Kenyan government makes the most money out of diaspora remittances, and Madaraka just brought 25,000 people together this year. So for me, that means that I need to be talking to Kenyan brands so that they're aware that, look, the audience that gives you the most money attends Madaraka Festival, you know? And so I've been talking to a lot of Kenyan brands on partnering with them.
Yeah.
So that's the other part of the media tour. And also it's really a process of giving gratitude to Kenyans, particularly, and East Africans, because the last 10 years, you know, next year is our 10-year anniversary. They've supported Madaraka Festival. They've supported my work with One Vibe Africa in Kisumu. And so really, it's just a period for me to say thank you and to connect directly with people like you who have also been supportive of the work that I do. Yeah.
All right. Maniac, have you performed at Madaraka Festival?
Not yet. I am set to perform, though. I haven't yet.
Have you attended?
Yes, I've attended.
What would you say about Madaraka Festival
From
the eyes of not the founder? Because the founder can really tell us things because it's his.
It's something special. It's you know, when you go there, it's kind of like a Rolling Loud experience, kind of like but it's East African, you know. So it's you get more, you get the culture out of it more. So it's an experience, definitely. I recommend everyone to go.
All right. Now, Main will be performing for us in a bit, but just as the DJ is getting the track and getting it ready, Javan, back to you. And you were just telling me off camera that you've had more than 120 artists coming to perform at the Madaraka Festival since its inception. Just tell me about that. And it's artists from all over the world. It's not just Kenyan artists.
Right.
And there's something that is really interesting that you've also mentioned, the fact that every single time a Kenyan is the headliner.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, Madaraka Festival is a Kenyan brand.
Yeah.
And the primary purpose of Madaraka Festival in the US is to elevate Kenyan music. So that's why a Kenyan has to be the headliner. You know, this year Sauti Sol headlined. Next year we are talking to a couple of artists, but primarily Nyashinsky. We hope he agrees to work with us. And then the following year, we also a Kenyan headliner. The next 3 years we have Kenyan headliners that we are already talking to, you know. Next year we are doing Madaraka Festival 2 times. And each time we do it, we are touring 15 cities. So we are doing Madaraka Festival 30 times next year. That's, you know, if you compare that to last year, we only did it once. So over the last 10 years, we've grown from a once a year festival to a 30 times a year festival. So it means next year we'll reach 150,000 people in person, you know. So for me, I just see Madaraka Festival as an extension of Kenya. And also, Madaraka Festival is like Eliud Kipchoge, you know. We are carrying the Kenyan flag outside there. But also, you know, being inclusive, you know, that's why we have my brother Maniac Main. We've had Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, who is another rapper from the US. We've had Rocky Dauni from Ghana, Blitz the Ambassador from Ghana, Samini from Ghana. We've also had Amen Viana from Togo, you know, Dre's from Zimbabwe, Anthony Cole from Trinidad and Tobago. You know, so many artists from over 18 countries have performed at Madaraka Festival. In the last 10 years, over 120 artists have been on our stage. You know, with each festival we have between 5 to 9 artists in each festival. You know, and that means we probably have like 3 bands. You know, so and maybe 4 or 5 DJs. Yeah, and that's every show.
Yeah. That's really, really amazing. Like, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
Now, I guess we're ready to listen to Main, Maniac himself. You can go. That's your camera over there.
Oh.
Mr. DJ, Unique. No kuuliza swali Unique. Okay, let's get to here.
Oh, I thought you guys were gonna give me a mic. I'm just doing it straight.
Just assume you have your mic, mic with you, and just roll
all right,
with
we do it. Where's my camera right over here?
That's the
all
camera.
right, here we go. DJ, you go ahead and run it. Do I walk closer, or you tell me if I'm
just
good?
there.
All right, cool. You let me know.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna block my view.
All right, got you. I got you.
All right, we're good. Sound, please. Sound. Okay.
That's the wrong song. That's the wrong song. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's just roll with it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I know she never got it. I ain't from the practice, but my pants from the practice. So the way a nigga feeling like I got inside of practice. Nigga fuck with me. Came from the struggle, mama had a lot of juggle. Now a nigga stuffing all his money in his duffel. Learning hard way to down, never really love you. I don't want your friendship.
Girl, hey, they got a problem. Tell them ain't no problem. I was really starving, but we don't make excuses, we just hustle to the morning. How bad do you really want it? They can shove in my opponent, I'm a soldier. And you know we smoking on that loud, that's that doja. I ain't reposting name, we pay for that exposure. Diamond in the air, we gon' thug it till it's over. This world getting colder, glad to see the finish road. Seen the jungle, I don't want your love, cause they don't never really love you. I'm tired of being humble, did it by the way we hustle. Beat my chest, I really got it off the muscle. Came from the stuff. My brothers, I'll tell another. So they sold so they could tell a couple. Hell no better. Ask me why I do it, I don't do it for the fame. Love music, they ain't never feel the same. I really felt a lot of pain, I had to tell him I'm a Pacer, that's my granddaddy's name. I had to go a little harder. We just further than we started. Stunting in the trenches, that just made them all the target. They assume I went to college, that just tell me that I'm smarter. I don't need no auto-tune to show that I'm better. They just want up out the ghetto. I don't let they hate us, you can tell they really jealous. No new friends, I'm just getting jealous. Never got to prove it, it was all fun and games till I really started losing. I'm better than these rappers. I ain't no better, it's Maniac. I ain't never seen the jungle. I don't want your love, cause they don't ever really love you. I'm tired of being humble, did it by the way we hustle. Beat my chest, I really got it off the muscle. Bottom up. Did a couple crimes that I would never tell another. Sold they sold so they could get a couple dollars. I don't know no better. Maniac.
Love it. I love the flow, by the way.
Thank you.
Is it something you had to really work on? Because I understand flowing like that isn't easy. I wouldn't even try.
Yeah, it's definitely. You know, I did it since I was young. When you're younger, you kind of get better as you keep going. But I want to say like starting to like get into like really finding myself. I want to say I was like 17, 18, 19, somewhere around those ages.
All right, Javan, who have you put him onto? Who are you planning on him working with? Because I mean, you can't come and
That's
then you
true.
guys leave and he hasn't worked with any Kenyan artist.
I actually talked to Bien already. Bien and I and him are going to be meeting up sometime in studio. I've talked to Calligraph as well. Those are the primary people that know that he's here and are excited to, you know, also host him in their own spaces. Yeah.
By the way, Calligraph Jones is the baddest rapper in Africa.
Oh yeah?
Just so you know.
Introduce me.
Yes.
OG.
Shout out to the OG himself. Now, as we wind up, if you may just give us your parting shots.
Well, first I want to say thank you to you and also to your team and also to KBC, you know, for being an incredible platform for Kenyan arts and culture. And also, you know, thank you to, you know, everyone, you know, Sauti Sol, King Kaka, you know, of course, Calligraph Jones, Eric Omondi, a lot of Kenyan artists and creatives have really supported me and Madaraka Festival, and I just want to say thank you.
All right, your parting shots.
Thank you guys. Thank KBC for having me, and you know, I'm here to stay. Let's see ya.
What was your Kenyan name?
It was
Lest you forget.
Kamau.
Come
on now.
All right, that is it with this interview, but don't you go too far. We have a dope artist coming up next. I know you guys know Boss MOG. Yes, he is already in the building. Better tune in for that.
Tamani kukufresha every day of my life, lakini najipata nikistruggle. Spirit huwa willing but my flesh huwa weak. Badala niende kwa kesha najipata kwa kisha tukiwa kisha. Na kila time nikitaka bomba mujipata TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram nikiambia watu follow me. So many times nimekuangusha, hujawahi niangusha. Wasiponiamini, mimi nitachachisha. I just want you to take the wheel. Take the wheel. I just want you to lead my way. Lead my way. Cha Samaria, akamwambia Msamaria yote amefanya, akakimbia akawaambia, akakimbia na kushuhudia. Kujeni muone aliyeniambia
all the hits all the time.
Yote niliyoyafanya. Kujeni muone aliyenipenda. Kujeni watu wake kwa mabawa yake atawaficha. Ananipenda licha ya yale nimefanya. Anakupenda licha ya yale umefanya. Mungu ni upendo. Mungu ni upendo. Mungu
Yes, boss MOG has decided that we should dance in the studio, and I hope that you are also dancing from back home. I hope that we are bringing in the warmth in this cold weather. Welcome back, and boss MOG is in studio looking sijui luku ulifanyia nini vile unaipiga. Sijui kama unajua wimbo kwa sababu wewe ni wa gospel, lakini sijui kama kuna wimbo inaitwa sijui nilifanya nini luku juu vile mimi uipiga.
Ndio unajua hiyo.
Anyway,
nimesikia kafununu mahali.
Hawezi kosa
kuna kafununu mahali nikiwa TikTok tu.
Iko huko TikTok all over.
Ni tabia mbaya, wacha nitoke hapa.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm fine, I appreciate. It's an honor being here again. Sikumbuki the last time I was here, but I feel honored.
Yeah.
Yaani nikijua after hapa kuna chai na ningoja tu mahali.
Unajua huku tunapeana chai by the way.
Nimeona mpaka kuna restaurant fulani hapo amazing.
Hivyo ndo mtu huitisha chai na mapema. Tukijua by the after this.
Just in case mlikuwa mmepanga kuninyima chai, I'm just telling you in advance after hapa where I'm headed.
Nyingine inasemanga mwana mwega noda. Hiyo ni French.
Mtoto mzuri ni tumba.
Yes.
Very nice. Lakeside na najua hiyo lugha ni muhimu.
All right, boss MOG, let's talk about the song that we were just listening to. That is Ana Nipenda. Tell me about that song. How did the lyrics come about?
Nilikuwa nakutana, okay, I was just thinking like what haven't I done? Boss is known for dancehall. Boss has done worship. So nilikuwa na feel like it will be very interesting. Ni pull Pitson from his comfort zone. Is right now going to worship and praise songs, and also me, I'm into dundaing songs. So I was like, where do we meet? So where we were compromising is the message and the beat. So Nikambia Pitson, since it's me, I'm bringing you this side, I'm gonna give you a banging beat. But message nitakuacha decide. So we were like, let's keep it simple. Let's tell people about God, because when you do God business, God takes care of your business. So I was like, mi sina pesa ya kujipromote, so acha tupatie Mungu kazi yake ya promote. Acheze kivyake. So that's how that message came. And also it's about the reason why we came up with that song is because we felt like kuna wase wengi wametoka church, especially after COVID. I don't think church has ever recovered. Right now they meanza ku recover. But so many people, hata kulikuwa na hashtag fulani juzi ilikuwa na trend that we left the church but we did not leave God. So people left the church and wakaanza kumedule into other stuff. And some of them wali give up na God himself. Ila designer, mi sitaki kwenda church. Like so many people have negative stories about church. But we are just here to tell them, hey, Mungu ni upendo. Now, we don't go to church because we're perfect. We go to church because we all need fixing. And it will be so good for people to be more tolerant and not be more of judging and having more expectation on someone because he's going to church. We go to church because we need fixing, not because we are perfect. And we're just telling them, come back.
It's good that you said you go to church not because you're perfect.
No.
Because I feel like most of the, especially gospel artists, get judged really harshly. You know, extra harsh when it comes to the judging because wewe unatuambia wewe ni mtu wa sagod. Tena nilikuona wapi pale jana, you know. But and still on the matter that you were talking about, people have left the church, and you were talking about it literally in terms of numbers. But now I want us to get into the artists that we've seen sway away from gospel music, because there are a number of them who were really big artists when we were talking about gospel music, and it's like all the big ones that we used to talk about that were mainstream. Have really just swayed. Saizi wanaimba mapenzi yani.
I think
which is a good thing still. But
Inaanzanga na mimi naimbia tu mama.
Naimba wimbo.
Hii love song ni ya mama.
Ama na kwanga wimbo hata wakienda wedding. Sikukuwa na ngoma inaweza chezwa kwa wedding.
Suna hakujua hiyo ilikuwa trap. But for them, personally what I can say is that vile tu nimesema, so many people wakisikia wewe ni wa church, wewe unaimbanga gospel, they have this picture of how you should be, how you should walk, how you should look. Kuna msee tu sasa ananiangalia kusema ule jamaa ameokokaje na akona earring, ule jamaa ameokokaje na akona kofia, akona mabling bling aje, wasa ameokoka wanafaa kuvaa masuti and all that. So people have this picture and they want you to fit in it.
Yeah.
So I think wale wase walitoka gospel is because due to that pressure, and they could not take the pressure, and also that one goes along with discipleship. The level of discipleship that you consume as someone who is saved, it will help you in times of trouble. It helps you in times of peer pressure, and so these are just young kids who are experiencing fame, and were not able to meet up the expectation that came with the fame they had, and they had to give up. So bado nawaambia Bahati na Willy Paul, Mungu anawapenda na Mungu anawaita hii upande. I always tell people, Christians, that every time tukikosa, na hii liko tabia yangu kitambo, most of the time nikikosa then niende fellowship niambiwe niombe, nilikuwa nawekelea msee mwingine anaambia mimi najua nini nimetoka kufanya, so nasema sina nini leo watu waombeshe, kwani ni mimi tu ndo ndaombesha. But in real life it's not that I can't pray, but I'm trying to run away from the reality. And this is what Adam did. When God was showing up for fellowship jioni, anakosa Adam kwa venue, so Adam anauliza Adam uko? Adam analia nimejificha. Kwa nini? Ule dem ulinipea alinifanya nikakula matunda. So the picture that God wanted to show us from the story of creation is that even when you're wrong, even when you've sinned, I will show up for you. But in this case, God showed up, but Adam did not show up kwa venue. So I keep telling people, ni wewe ndio show up. God will always show up. But ni wewe ndio at times unalia, me I don't want church. Me easy responsibilities are kuokoka, nataka kudunda, then maybe later on nikuje kwa God nikikuwa mzae, which you're not guaranteed you'll come back alive. What's depressed right now? People are going to club not because they're going to have fun, but they're running away from the reality. And tomorrow, after hangover, reality hits you back. So God will always be there to receive you back. Story of the prodigal son. Even after Merudi, the father did not forsake him. Alimu throw ya bash. So guys, this story ziko kwa Bible, they were not there for just to be read, but to be understood, the character of God. Wase ku understand, by the way, God is a loving God, second chance God. Jamaa alipeombaka mahali yake na kaenda kadishi yote. Na bado anakambaka na throw bash. Kwani ni nani? You know. So that's just to show you how big is the love of God
is. Yeah, and that's what you actually say in your song that you've just listened to. Yeah. Umesema ukianza hapo ulisema where your kind of music is kind of the dunda kind of music, dudaing kind of dudaing.
We accept you the way you are.
The dundaing kind of music. I like that. Just why is it so important for gospel to also have that? Because kuna mtu atasema kwa nini mnaimba gospel design? Kwa nini mnaimba gospel ni kama siwezi tofautisha ngoma ya a club song na ngoma ya gospel kasi skizi like lyrics vizuri.
One of the things I normally tell people that before you judge someone or before you judge something someone is doing, always remember God anakuanga na intention na everything someone is doing. Anakuna kuanga na a crowd set for that. Just because message haiko kubamba, that's just an indication to tell you that was not for you. That doesn't mean your target, it was just not for you. But somebody else somewhere is receiving it so good. You remember the time of go let him go, go let him go. Until today is my wedding day, is being played in the clubs. These songs are being played in the clubs. But there are certain songs, for all due respect, they won't be played in the club. But you see, these people that people think they are outcast, these are people that God is sending us to get. So when we do these kind of songs, most of the time we are targeting a certain audience. And we may not target you when you uko kwa church, the staunch Christian, wale wenye you have a way of mind of how these things should be done. As we don't know how it should be done, I can just say we are going just by the guidance of God and also inspiration. So leo nikiamka Holy Spirit aniambie niaje kase piga dancehall, nitaigonga. Yeah, nitaigonga na make sure ni dance. And there is someone that is the rescue yake. Like I went to church because I loved Boss Emoji's song, and it feels so perfect to dance it in the church. So we used to lure people. We are at the bridge of wild to church, so we are bringing them back to church. Yeah.
Actually, when you were speaking about that, I just remembered I saw a clip either yesterday or the day before yesterday, where I don't know what club that was, some pub. Yeah. Okay, let me not call it a pub. It was a club.
It's a club.
Some club.
The difference.
Pub is ni kama kadogo tu. So naweza ita pub wenyewe wakuwa naona wamwe ati defamation sijui.
All right.
Anywho, so there was this particular club. Watu walikuwa wamepiga sherehe, and then out of nowhere they put worship songs. And then they were even praying. Like there was a lady there akona kilemba ni mkorino amepiga hadi magoti anaomba, and the people prayed.
It's awesome.
Ungeshindwa hapa hivi tuko church, tuko kesha fulani ama na kidogo walikuwa wanaimba tu.
It's awesome.
But I enjoy.
Everything begins with God and ends with God. Me, I will never judge anyone for going to club. The only thing I'll tell them is that don't make sure you are sane. Like unajua kwa nini unafanya vitu zingine. I can't judge them that because unaenda club utaenda kwa shetani. I don't have that power to cast you to hell. Unajua. All I can say is that God anakupenda, regardless of whatever you're going through. God anakupenda. And if you're using maybe these clubs and parties as a way of getting away from reality, God ndiye akona true check yako, na God ndiye akona real identity yako. And personally, before I got saved, I used to do a lot of things. I was in the street, nilikuwa mwizi, nilikuwa msoa boxing, nilikuwa nimependa fight mtaa.
Kwani boxing ni kitu mbaya?
Ya mtaa ina rules.
Okay.
Ya mtaa ina rules.
Yeah.
So we used to fight a lot in the street. So I only got my true identity in Christ after nimeokoka. That's when I realized there was another talent yenye kama singeokoka right now sidhani kama ningekuwa naimba. So God brought me to himself, and then akanipatia kizawadi moja, talent moja fresh. Leo hii
ndo wewe huyu.
Ndo mimi, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we are taking a short break, and by the way, now that you've gotten into story wewe in the streets, there's actually another story I read that you tried committing suicide. We'll get to that. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Childhood mortality, or in simple terms, childhood deaths, is an indicator of a society's or a nation's well-being and socio-economic status.
From this report again, we see that there is high male-female mortality compared to female. Under 5 mortality is at par in both rural and urban. It's at 41 deaths per 1,000 live births.
But what are some of the interventions that are being put, and what would you advise?
Delivery at a health facility will improve the chances of the mother and the child surviving.
Ile tanki moja ndiye anaweka sio ya simu na narudi anaosha, anaweka maji hapo.
Anaweka tena maji hapo.
Na kwa nini unalala?
Nifanye huko ndani juice ya mku polisi.
Sasa unatupotezea wakati.
Mlipata ni hiyo maji ndio ilifanya mkao wa kwanza. Hiyo maji ndio ilileta shida. Kwa nini walikupali watu wakunywe uso ya watu?
Human faces ni choo, waste.
Oh, ni kisungu mmebadilisha sasa.
Umebadilisha wapi?
Nashikilia uchumi ya Kenya, 75% of the GDP of the country anategemea mimi. Ukimwangalia anakaa tu kama exhaust anyway. Zura ukimwangalia wacha matusi. Nimenyamaza, siongei.
Hutaki kujitetea.
Sitaki.
Pindi tunapowasha vifaa vyetu, tunapata fursa ya kutangamana na wasikilizaji wetu.
Karibu sana thĩinĩ wa tabarĩra ya Rwiga.
Tunapeperusha utangazaji uliobobea katika habari,
nĩ ũndũ wa macio na mangĩ maingĩ,
burudani,
nĩ harĩa tũkoragwo tũkĩigua nyĩmbo mwaki nyĩmbo hoda
na hamasisho la kiroho. Usiachwe nyuma, jiunge nasi kwa safari ya kufana katika 99.5 FM.
Shoro FM.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Boss Emoji, nilitoka nikiongelelea something that you had tried to do, that is you had tried to commit suicide, alafu kamba ikasnap. God akakwambia wewe, sio utanichagulia.
I know.
Just tell me a bit about that story as you also get to encourage someone who's going through a tough time right now, and maybe that's what is on their mind. They feel like the only way out is me dying.
Yeah, I remember, you know, when you grew up in a state, let's say wazazi wako wamedai, nobody's taking care of you, and you feel like you're alone in this whole world. Of course, at some point you're feeling your place. So najua right now kuna wase economy imewasukuma kwa kona, kuna wase ambao wana feel like life is not worth living. Juzi nilikuwa naongea na best yangu, ananiambia there was a time alikuwa amesimama kwa 7th floor ya building yake saa 8 ya usiku, alikuwa anataka kujirusha. And he's a big gospel artist. And I was surprised that, wow, such things can inaweza happen here anyone. It doesn't matter whether you have a name or you don't have a name. Kila mtu, we all go through certain things kwa life. But personally, ningependa kuambia say that God anasema hizo worries zenye uko nayo, by worrying, what do you add to your life? Wanakuambia nothing. So kuna hii wimbo we always sang in Sunday school, and most people wanaichukulia kama wimbo tu, cast your burden unto Jesus, for he cares for you. When you've cast your burden to Christ, he knows what to do with it. But the problem is, watu wanataka kuhandle vitu kumundu is head to head, like hii ni shida imekam tunapambana nayo kimwanaume. You can never win when you're handling this thing. Hizi vitu zinakwanga, some of them they've been sent by the enemy to break you. And if you handle them with your strength, they will break you for real. But ukiwa msetu, yani give it up everything to Christ, manze. Watu wanaonanga ni kama hii tu ni kitu tu watu wa Kristo usema, but this thing is true. Try to pray about everything that you're going through. Kama ni school fees hauna, try to pray about it. It doesn't matter whether unajua unaendanga church ama uendangi church. Mungu ni wetu sote. Try praying for each and everything that you're going through. Pray for your children, pray for your job, kwa sababu you never know leo ndio ile siku nenda kuvutwa. So me niliamka tu siku moja nikasema funga gamba hapo nijinyonge. Nobody knew, not even my brothers knew. Hii ni story wamesikia kwa TV actually. Pia hata kwa sababu they were not part of my journey. And right now you feel like there's no one who is part of your journey. You're just going through stuff solo. God akona wewe. Pray about it. You'll see things change.
Yeah, just pray about it. Now, atuwezi maliza kama atuja wenzako wako wapi? Emoji. I mean, I know you're no longer like a group emoji, but bado una represent both emoji.
Definitely.
So what happened to the group very quickly as we finish up?
Yeah, emoji definitely like any other groups. See Sauti Sol just from announce on a breakup. Easy vitus you happen, especially when you start. Everybody anakanga ni kama this is what they want to do, but then later on, kuna wale while you're doing it, they're advancing the education. So with the time, the responsibilities, passion change. So unapata huyu anaanza develop passion kwa kitu fulani, huyu ana develop passion kwa kitu fulani, and that's how group breaks. So emoji, Tony was always an entrepreneur in the group. KNT was the creative. And I salute all of them right now. They're doing good. Tony is in state right now, and Kenti is in the creative industry for TV. So they're doing so good, Luko.
Okay. You have a record label.
Yes, I have
your
a record
own
label.
record label.
Yeah.
What's the name of the record label?
Have
you signed anyone?
For now, I am dealing with just nurturing talent. Badlishamta Camp, B Camp. So most of my music, they begin with B Camp, Badlishamta Camp. And I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter. I've written for so many people. Even kuna love songs zingine huku nje mnaimbanga mimi nimeziandika but amuzijui.
Unaweza kuzitaja ama tubaki kama hatujui.
I'll just mention all hit songs of Vivian Kenya mimi ndo nimeandika. The hit song. Kuna Moon Kenya, Munafanana. I'll show you her picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the one you were telling me about?
Yeah, I've written for her too.
Anyway.
So I have a production house. So it's located in Embakasi Feather Estate. So kama wewe ni msanii unahitaji songwriter, unahitaji studio, I can be that. You just need to connect with me on Facebook, Boss Emoji, Instagram, Boss Emoji. Everywhere, Boss Emoji, come kwa inbox to Bonge. We see how we can help each other.
All right, and your music as well. What kupate Boss Emoji everywhere. As
well? Boss Emoji everywhere. Just write Boss Emoji YouTube. Subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, a new song is coming out this week, Bado. I'm dropping a new song. I know nimeachilia ingine na Pitson, but another one is coming. We are against time. We are running.
Yeah, so it's just back to back to back to back. Yeah, like it should be. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. We really appreciate that you took your time to come join us, and you are doing an amazing job. Of course, we've loved your songs from the time of Emoji, and you're still doing it. Talent haipoteangi unajua. It's still there, so we're still enjoying your music now. We love it. We love the TikTok challenges.
Yeah.
So keep at it. And tukimaliza na Boss Emoji, DJ, you have something from Boss atu imbia kidogo as he lives.
Let's go. See your story, yeah, who organize. See your story, yeah, who organize. Akisema, yeah, who organize. Akiahidi, yeah, who organize. See your story, yeah, who organize. See your story, yeah, who organize. Akisema, yeah, who organize. Akiahidi, yeah, who organize. Aliahidi Abrahamu, aka-organize. Akaahidi Joshua, aka-organize. Na pia Hana, ali-organize. Story ni mingi, yeah, organize. Haijalishi nani anakupiga vita, ama giza gani unapita, kwa maombi wewe ukimuita, hata organize.
hits all the time. Other DJs want to be. It's the one.
DJ Unique, the messenger.
Organize. You organize.
Mtoto ata organize, kazi ata organize, afya ata organize, yeye ata organize, atandika story yako upya.
As Boss Emoji and Moji Shot Baba are just telling us on that song, yeah, who organize. Yes, whatever burdens you have, patia God, yeah, atakuorganize, atakusort, atakupanga. Anyway, thank you so much for each and every one of you who has been tuned in. On behalf of the entire GMK crew, we want to wish you a lovely day. We want to tell you thank you for watching the show, and do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Mimi ndo na hepa, lakini the messenger right here. By the way, mbona ulijita the messenger?
I do pass message to people.
Okay. The messenger Unique, the DJ, will be giving us some 1 and 2s, 1s and 2s, 1 and 2s, 1s and 2s. Yes, those ones. He's going to be mixing, he's going to be playing for us. For me, right here, I say goodbye.
But I never do it. I reminisce, but I never did. But I never. I lost some family, I'm still losing friends. Cause of the rules with me, I know better. But then again, I don't pretend. See me, I send them, never. No. I was living like a no. Always looking like a no. Like an artist with no cap promo. I did write solo, baby, no. Isn't follow, Bessie, way no. I follow Bessie, but then I miss from. Free me, big I dance control. I don't joke, all I want to say is that they don't really care that much. Bucket never empty, take a look at my company, right? I won't get money like Elon Musk. That's why I always don't say much, I get to work. No, they whine you. This guy matter, they precise you. For my mind, you, I go shine you. Bad energy, I decline you. Friends and foe try to spoil my show. Then do me rigging my row. Then downplay my glow. But me, I carry you. The kind of life I was living back then. I reminisce, but I never do it. I reminisce, but I never did it. I reminisce, but I never. I lost some family, I'm still losing friends. Cause of the rules with me, I know better. But then again, I don't pretend. See me, I send them, never. No. I was living like a no. Always looking like a no. Like an artist with no cap promo. I did write solo, baby, no. Listen, follow Bessie, window. I follow Bessie, but then I miss you.
I stay high, I'm never low. Steady on my grind. Me no fear no one at all. Cause who I did my side. Energy 100%, and them no fi comprehend. And them no fi understand. I'm catching flights and they for dance. Nobody better than I. 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 Nobody
Darkness bring out our emotions. Mix them up in that life potions. Countless times we catch the sunrise. Fix some scars we share with white lights. I have the keys to heaven now, bays all around and they got my mind spinning. I have the keys to heaven now, bays all around and they got my mind spinning. I got the keys to heaven now, bays all around and they got my mind spinning.
girl, now you me I choose. What the girls them no fit compare. Say you be the one with the complete me. Oh no, 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 no. Baby girl, now you me I choose. What the girls them no fit compare. Almost in my love pass overseas. Oh yeah, get the way that you come by, yo. Baby girl, make you draw for me, yo. Things you do, girl, I know it's so yo. Baby, make I spend money. Or the way that you come by, yo. Baby girl, make you draw for me, yo. Now go play you like Ronaldo. I wanna make you mine, cause you know, say I can make you my wife. Make you smile, oh I can. I'm on don't show, baby, I can treat you right, girl, I can. Marry you, I can. I'm on trip to Paris, yo, I can. Make you smile, take you around the block, I'm a local J.
JA na mada beats ndo zile kwa masanduku JB. Isi dumba ni jasho mafans na JC ta hit Kampala. Naka Tanzania kwa JD. Boom shaka boom hii ni dumbala Udada ni tukumdara baby. Isi remix ya tu ni remix of the year. Those of us similar opinions sema the A have it. Super rapper super singer. Noma sana utashangaa. Asante sana shukran thumbs up. Dada kweli umejibeba jibeba. Hakuna dumbala nachafanga pampaka Kampala. Oh man, we be living in the sky.
The importance of such initiatives, especially with Bethel Network, is to help the less fortunate in our societies, especially the girl child, so they're able to continue with their day-to-day activities as they pursue their education without any interruptions.
I find that there's a lot of menstrual shaming where ladies are, if you have a stain, you're told, unachekelewa, yani, like, it's funny, but for the girl, it's diminishing because we feel bad, like you feel it's a problem.
By having this interactive session about menstruation cycle, we actually try to get rid of the stigma that, deals with period shaming and make period a conversation that is really proudly owned by boys and girls.
Differently. Of course you didn't expect to find me here.
I'm tired of everyone judging me, saying that I betrayed the company.
At least I'm not the one who opened the door for the snake here.
You're just not caught.
What is this man doing here?
This family has no idea that you are about to betray them.
What do you want?
I'm going to give you Uganda.
I see trans in the family.
Money is an issue here.
So this is personal.
Now we are on the same page.
Did your father send you here?
I answer to no one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm coming after you with all that I have.
You've always been a scam.
Don't call me that.
You will never succeed doing anything in this world without me, Alice.
How do you manage to know every step I take?
So you really want a divorce? I will give it to you. But I will take everything. All of it, Arturo.
I don't care, Amparo. Get easy. I give you my word that I'll get you out of there. I will do everything in my power. We will get our revenge on every single one of that Otero fools.
Love to try and make it work. I really do. But I just can't.
And why can't you?
Put yourself in my place.
There he is.
Danielle!
Mother.
Oh, Danielle, my beautiful son. This is a miracle.
I'm no longer your maid. You're no longer welcome in this house.
Say that again.
What, are you going to hit me until I obey you?
Sallallahu alayhi wasallam alituhimiza tutekeleze mambo ambayo natija yake ni kukaribia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na kupata radhi zake.
Je, wewe kama mwanadamu umeweza kuimarisha vipi mafungamano yako katika wewe kama mja na Mola wako tabaraka wa taala?
Balle balle balle.
Of course you didn't expect to find me here.
I'm tired of everyone judging me, saying that I betrayed the company.
At least I'm not the one who opened the door for the snake here.
You're just not caught.
What is this man doing here?
This family has no idea that you are about to betray them.
What do you want?
I'm going to give you Uganda.
I see trans in the family.
Money is an issue here.
So this is personal.
Now we are on the same page.
Did your father send you here?
I answer to no one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm coming after you with all that I have.
You've always been a scum.
Don't call me that.
You will never succeed doing anything in this world without me, Alice.
How do you manage to know every step I take?
To the provisions of Standing Order 24, Part 6, the thanks of this House be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the address of His Excellency the President, delivered in Parliament on Thursday, 9th November 2023, and further that this House notes the following report submitted by His Excellency